From Mamma Mia, welcome to The Spill, your daily pop culture fix. I'm Laura Brodnick.
And I'm Ksenia Lukic.
And coming up on the show today, oh my God, guys, you might hear the excitement in my voice. I have been dying to do this episode for so long. We are talking about the best romantic comedy TV shows and heaps that you probably haven't heard of or watched before, so get excited.
Now, what I love about our Friday shows is that we usually do like some recommendations, some of our favorites. It's all about like a deep dive. Now, you have been suggesting this incessantly on our channels for weeks and weeks and weeks. And we finally had to say today, okay, Laura, for God's sake, we'll do it. Now, this is the best romantic comedy series of all time. I'm going to give you a couple of my favorites, which are more well known, and then you're going to give us the ones that we don't know.
Yes, and I should say before we jump into that, so that is how we're going to do it.
Yeah.
What is a fun, frivolous Friday episode about love and romance without some rules?
Yes.
Rules is what I bring to
I know.
the event.
I was about to say, Laura will now come in with her rules.
Because this is what you want from a pop culture podcast. No, just to define things. So obviously we are talking about TV romantic comedies because as you would have heard in our Weekend Watch episode this morning, Lena Dunham's new rom-com has just come out on Netflix, Too Much. And it's even though it's a rom-com and a drama, Lena Dunham said her catalyst for making the show was as a bit of a love letter to the romantic comedies she grew up watching and all the movies that she loved. And so that got me thinking that we always talk about romantic comedy movies, and obviously there's so many incredible romantic comedy movies out there, but I feel like we don't talk enough about romantic comedy TV shows, and they are also very, very important. So that's what we're going to do today. So we've defined a romantic comedy TV show as obviously something that is a comedy that has lightness and frothiness to it, but something where the love story is the central driving part of the show and it is the end game, and you do get that love story payoff at the end. So that is how we're defining a romantic comedy TV show.
Okay, I'm going to start with one that is on the newer side. It only came out last year on Netflix. Nobody wants this.
Never heard of it. Except for the 15 podcasts we did about it.
I know we've talked about it a lot.
No,
so
I
we
know.
don't have to go too much into it because I know probably everyone's over it. But it would be remiss if I didn't mention it because I think it fits the genre.
What did you love about it? We've never talked about this before.
Oh, we haven't.
No.
I really loved the comedy. I liked the cross-cultural, development of a love story that's not like a typical love story. And something centered around religion is not something that we really see very often. And, kind of this agnostic woman going for this Jewish rabbi.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a really interesting take. I also really liked the side characters.
So good.
One of my favorite characters is Sasha. I don't know if you ever watched Veep. Did you watch Veep?
Yes.
He was in Veep. He was Jonah in Veep.
Yeah,
and
so good.
It's just, he's such a great character. He's so funny. And the new season is coming out in October.
Oh, yes. Our calendars are marked.
Yes, so we don't have long to wait for season 2. But I think in terms of fitting your rules, it really nails it.
It really does, yes.
One that is a bit older, it wrapped filming in 2018, and it's New Girl.
My God, New Girl is just one of my ultimate comfort watches. But I think what it doesn't get enough credit, maybe it does, but like the hardcore fans know that as much as that is an incredible ensemble comedy, it's the love story that is so perfectly done. Romantic comedy writers dream of a love story like that.
And, there's all these stories about during the early... So Elizabeth Merriweather created the show.
Yeah, love her.
And during the early episodes, Zooey Deschanel and Jake Johnson, who play Jessica Day and Nick Miller, weren't actually allowed to do too many scenes together because their chemistry was too good.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much.
And they just hit it off straight away.
Yeah.
And, obviously a lot of the time with these kind of sitcom-y shows, that relationship develops. But it really is, from the very beginning, you can see that there is chemistry between the two of them. And again, it's just so funny. It's so silly. Like Winston, the guy who plays Winston Bishop, Lamorne,
Morris,
he's so funny. Like as he grows, it gets quirkier. But my favorite is definitely Schmidt.
Max Greenfield, just
How good was he
God.
during the pandemic with his daughter? Those funny TikTok videos that he was doing?
He is hilarious. I loved him in Running Point as well recently, but I just still find him like the hottest man ever. Also, Veronica Mars fans know him as Leo, but he is so good in that show.
So yeah, he was going to quit acting before he did this.
I know, and this was the role that really gave him his new stardom.
But yeah, my favorite like bit that they do throughout the series, and it's not part of the love story, but I'm a bit of a comedy fan.
Yeah.
My favorite bit that they do is the douchebag jar.
Oh yeah. And how they stomp it at the wedding.
It's so funny. It's like, damn it, I can't find my driving moccasins anywhere.
Oh, the way he says youths everywhere. I quote Schmidt a lot, which doesn't really fit in with my day-to-day life. So I
quote
do get
Schmidt
weird.
so much.
It's just, he's got a quote for everything.
Oh my God.
We are all Schmidt, or at least we are.
He's so funny. Anyway, that is kind of my favorite. That's on Disney Plus now. You can watch all seasons.
And it's such a good rewatch too. I rewatch it every couple of years. It really holds up.
Yeah, it's a great rewatch. It's just fun. It's cozy. It's easy. Now, the last one is a really obvious one, but I have a confession. Mm-hmm. I've never seen it. It's Emily in Paris.
Get out of here. Well, you know what? I'd rather you say I haven't seen it than say it's bad, I hate it, or I don't understand it. For those people who say I don't understand it, what is there to understand? It's a pretty basic plot point and a pretty basic premise. Anyway, obviously, I really love Emily in Paris. Not even I don't hate watch anything. I only love watch. So I really like it. And you can continue. What's it about?
Okay, so this is like, I guess it's about a girl who's
I guess. Yeah, actually, I'd love to hear what you think it's about.
Okay, so she's a okay. So she's a marketing chick in, I'm guessing, New York.
Chicago.
Probably, yeah. Chicago. And then she flies over to Paris because she gets a job over there.
She gets transferred by her company.
Yep, okay. Because they wanted to have like an American lens.
So, yeah, well done.
Okay, on like the Parisian life.
Yeah.
And it's, she goes over there and then she meets, downstairs from her house is a really hot guy and he's French. Mm-hmm. And it's, she's in ridiculous outfits and high heels and it's very glamorous.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And, yeah, that's it. That's the story.
I mean, that is kind of the story, but that's what it's meant to be. Like, I just find Emily in Paris just so beautiful to watch.
It does look really pretty, I will say.
I think you would really like it. Like, yes, there's some silliness to it, but it's meant to be a silly caper. It's also not meant to be for French people. They would never watch it. I think most of them don't even know it exists. It's for the basic girls like us.
No, but I love Paris and I pride myself on being very Parisian.
No, okay. I'm sure you are. No, you can love Paris and think also her version of Paris is obviously like an American idealized fantasy to an extent. But whenever I go to Paris, I don't think of Emily in Paris. Like they're two kind of separate things, except for the fact that she goes around to a lot of the very touristy sites and loves them. And I also feel that's what you do when you go to Paris for the first time. And there's no shame in that. There's no shame in seeing the Eiffel Tower or the Louvre or something and getting excited because that's fine. And that when you see that for the first time, you should be excited. Otherwise, you're dead inside. Do you know there's a thing called Paris syndrome where people go to Paris with such high expectations and when they go outside of some of the city centres and they see the rubbish and they see the normal houses and things, people have been hospitalised over Paris. That's a true fact over Paris syndrome because the shock and the disappointment of this world that they built up is not there anymore.
Are you kidding? Paris is my favourite city. I love Paris so much.
No, Paris is also, I mean, I know it's one of my favourite cities too. No one's ever said that before. But I guess there are parts of it that don't look like Paris. But
I think if you're going, look, outskirts of Paris is very different to being in like where the Champs-Elysees is and it's like very bougie and expensive. You know, I think it's a point of pride for me that I haven't seen it because 2020 to 2025, it's had so much hype. And the fact that I feel like the fact that I've gone this long without watching it, I can't start now.
I don't understand that at all. I just think that if you want to watch it and it's this lovely, frothy, romantic comedy-esque TV show, you should just watch it. That's not the thing to kind of get hung up on, is all I would say. Some people don't like it because they think it's silly and yes, it is silly. It's also not meant to be a drama.
I don't mind silly. I like feel good, silly.
It's my favorite. I'm really big on having like very kind of soothing TV shows, especially that I watch like Saturday and Sunday morning. I've got a ban. None of my friends are allowed to ask me to brunch or breakfast anymore, call me, talk to me, go near me, because that is my calm time where I wake up whatever time I want and I go out into my living room and I have all my bunches of fresh flowers. I light my candles. I know you have children who can't do this.
I hate you so much, Laura.
And well, one day you come visit me. We can.
I know, but it's my choice. I'm the one that
apartment.
had kids. Like
Well, this will come back around, different seasons for different parts of life, and I'll make my beautiful coffee. And all I want to do then is watch something very soothing.
Now that we've gone through some of the obvious choices, do you want to take us through some of the ones that we most likely haven't seen?
Yes. This is the moment I have been waiting for. Okay. So the first one I wanted to bring up is a show that I absolutely fell in love with when it came out back in 2019. And it's a really beautiful rom-com series called 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Like the very, very famous movie with Hugh Grant. So I know you're going to say, but Laura, that's a movie. Well, Mindy Kaling, one of my very favorite TV actresses, writers, creators, adapted the movie, which was originally written by Richard Curtis, who, if you look up that man's name, has written every big rom-com that we love. He is the godfather of rom-coms. Mindy Kaling loves rom-coms and she loved that movie. And so she adapted it into a TV series where the overall premise is very the same, but it's different in terms of like she switched the characters, and one of the big switches is that there is now a female lead. It's Natalie Emmanuel, who people would know from Game of Thrones, Fast and the Furious, that really hot vampire movie, The Invitation. She plays our lead girl, Maya, and it's about these, and she's an American, but she ends up moving to London where her college friends are, and it tells the story of these 4 American friends, Maya, Craig, Ainsley, and Duffy, and they reunite for this very, like they're all adults now, they've been friends for a long time, they reunite for this very fabulous London wedding. Something happens and then it follows them over their lives of the next year that tell all of their different love stories. And it's just this beautiful, like, if you just want to watch something like really frothy and lovely with incredible dialogue that's set in London and is really beautiful to watch. The performances are so good. Mindy Kaling's script is like 10 out of 10, and like you don't have to have seen 4 Weddings and a Funeral, although you should watch that. It's a great movie.
What's it streaming on?
It's on Prime Video now.
Okay.
It wasn't when it came out. So yeah, it came out so many years ago, and anytime people message me, because I get so many messages, mostly from spillers on Instagram being like, oh my God, Laura, it's Saturday and I need something to watch, and they always want like often like just an easy to watch TV show, and 4 Weddings and a Funeral, the TV series, is always top of my list to send because I just know so many people haven't watched it. So it's on Prime Video. So worth watching. The next one I wanted to recommend, since we're talking about Mindy Kaling, is the Mindy Project.
Aww,
have you seen it?
I have seen it.
Isn't it this? Oh my God, I'm so glad you've seen it.
Yeah, I've only seen a couple of episodes though.
Okay.
I have not like super deep into it. Finding out her whole history on The Office and how she was a writer with BJ Novak and like that, her whole lore is so great.
She's incredible.
And she's so funny in The Office, and I do really like the Mindy Project. I don't have a lot of time.
So the Mindy Project, yes, it was created, written and starring Mindy Kaling. And again, I don't say this lightly, it is one of the funniest TV shows I have ever seen, but also it's very romantic comedy centered. So Mindy Kaling grew up loving romantic comedies, but she always thought there was no one who looked like her as a woman of Indian descent on these shows or movies or anything like that. So that was her goal, to write a rom-com where she could play the lead character and she could live in the beautiful New York apartment and she could wear the beautiful clothes and she could run through the streets and have these wild romantic escapades with men. So it is that, but it's also a bit of a send-up of those tropes. What's also interesting is she plays a doctor because she made her character just like a little bit insufferable in the funniest way possible, and a little bit of a diva and a little bit just like ridiculous. But then she's also a doctor so that you like her a little bit. So it has all these incredible rom-com tropes to it. It's very funny. But what I love is that the central relationship between her and Danny, who's another doctor at her practice, is based on the love story of Pride and Prejudice. So it's based on like him being this very gruff, unattainable person who like originally really doesn't like her and thinks she's silly. Yeah. And then their relationship really evolves. And again, not to spoil it, but like, you know how like when you're watching a couple get together and like you can tell it's going to happen and it's building and it's building.
Yeah, we love a hate to love story, you know?
Haters to lovers, my favorite trope.
Great trope.
So good. And like the build up and the moment they actually get together is so worth the hype. So the Mindy Project, you can watch it on Prime Video if you haven't seen it.
It's got 6 seasons as well. So you can really like get into it.
It could have been 15. Would have watched it. Okay, another one I wanted to chat about was an Australian show actually that has 2 seasons out on binge. I don't know if you've watched this one, Colin from Accounts.
No, I haven't, but I should because I always see clips of it and I feel like it's really good.
So freaking funny. So it's written, created, directed, starring Harriet Dyer and Patrick Brammall.
I love Harriet Dyer.
Yeah,
I've interviewed her a few times and she's amazing.
Yeah, she's an incredible comedic actress. We're both from Townsville, so, connected. In this show, Colin from Accounts, so yes, Patrick and Harriet together in real life, they created this show together. And in it, Harriet plays a woman called Ashley. Patrick plays a man called Gordon. And they have this incredible meet cute. So it's a meet cute is...
Say a man and a woman both need something to sleep in.
Uh-huh.
And they both go to the same men's pajama department.
Right.
And the man says to the salesman, I just need bottoms. The woman says, I just need a top. They look at each other, and that's the meet cute.
The movies hinge on a meet cute. Like, that's the part you've got to get right of how your 2 romantic leads will meet and fall in love. So Colin from Accounts is about that, but also what happens when it goes terribly wrong. So in this, you've got Gordon, he's driving his car along. Harriet Dyer's character, Ashley, walks out in front of him across the road and she sees him. They make eye contact. It's all a bit cute and sexy. And then she just flashes a boob, just a casual flash of the boob, and just to be a bit saucy and fun. And he sees her and he gets so distracted that he runs his car off the road and smashes into a dog.
Okay.
Which terrifies them both. And so they both take this dog to a clinic. He ends up being, like, his back legs are broken. He ends up being one of those little dog wheelie things. At the premiere, they had a dog and he wasn't the wheelie thing. And I'm like, that's probably a good thing because that would have been very stressful for him. And then they kind of have to come together to look after this dog. And as they do that, they start to fall in love. It's just so quintessentially Australian, so funny. Their chemistry is amazing, obviously, because they're married with children. But it is, again, one of those shows that I watch it. I just sit in my apartment laughing out loud. But it's also really cute watching them fall in love.
I mean, 2 great Aussie actors. I actually really love that you put an Aussie show in there.
I just feel like it's really defined what a really modern rom-com can be. So there's 2 seasons out now. They're on binge. I would watch 10 more seasons of this show.
You're so good at this stuff.
I just love TV.
I know you do, and I love TV too, but you always have the best recommendations.
I mean, the other thing is, like, it is my job, so I have an extra incentive to do this, as in it does keep my electricity on and food on my table. So, and on that note, the other one I wanted to bring up is Modern Love, which is actually a romantic comedy anthology. I don't know if you've seen this one. It actually came out back in 2019. There's 2 seasons. And so it's an anthology series, so every episode is its own contained story, which I think is also great, especially if you don't have a lot of time, because you could sit down and watch one half-an-hour episode once a week, and it's its own contained story. And it's
kind of like Black Mirror for
it's
rom-coms.
exactly, it's 100% that's what it is. It's Black Mirror for rom-coms. So if
love
Black
that.
Mirror freaks you out, go and watch Modern Love, because it's just sweet and lovely. It's mostly romantic love stories, but there is platonic love, family love. There's even a really lovely episode about a woman and her doorman who kind of sees her through all these big moments of her life when she becomes a single mom. I know, I cry so much. It's got an incredible cast of stars. So each episode has its own cast.
Oh, wow.
And some, Dev
Look at
Patel's
this
in there.
cast.
Hot. Anne
I love Dev
Hathaway.
Patel.
Dev Patel is so good in this.
Tina Fey?
Yeah, Tina Fey's incredible. Anne Hathaway's episode made me sob. Anna Paquin, Andrew Scott's in an episode, Minnie Driver. It's based off the Modern Love column in the New York Times, which is a very, very famous column. It's been going for many, many years. I read it online a lot. And it's a weekly series where they publish all these personal essays about love and relationships. And it's just real people's stories that feature in this column. And it's so beautifully done. It just tells all these little pockets of life. And over the years, it's become really famous, and there's podcasts about it. Now there's this TV show. So every episode of Modern Love is based on real life people, on these people whose stories appeared in this column.
2019 it came out. This is not really well known.
Yeah. Oh, I feel like it was very buzzy at the time, but I feel like once it and especially because like the first season had a lot of big names, and then the second season came out quite quickly afterwards. But I do feel like it's one of those shows like 4 Weddings and a Funeral where there was a hit of buzz, and I feel like it's really fallen off people's radars.
Yeah.
And so Modern Love, I can't speak highly enough of it. There's so many episodes I still think about all these years later, and like there's frothy episodes, there's some episodes that just made me sob. It's really beautiful.
It's on Prime.
It's on Prime Video.
Yeah.
So highly recommend, because again, little self-contained episodes.
Do you know why I think it hasn't really hit?
Yeah.
Because Prime Prime wasn't that big when this came out in Australia. It wasn't like a massive streaming service yet. So I feel like maybe that's why a lot of people might have missed it.
Can't finish off this episode without talking about one of my favorite shows of all time, Heart of Dixie.
I can't. I'm sorry.
Really?
No.
Really?
No.
Why, Ksenia?
No, I watched like 5 seconds and I hated it.
Well, of course, 5 seconds. Also, of the pilot, you should know that a pilot is not always a reflection of the real show.
It was too like no.
It's so sugary in the best way possible.
Too sugary, like too American.
So American.
I can't.
Everything
sorry.
I want in a rom-com, sugary, American, starring Rachel Bilson. So
I know. I look. I love a cheesy rom-com, but that series just goes a bit. It was just too.
Okay, well, I have watched all 4 seasons multiple times.
I know.
And I'm here to tell you that, and so many other women in this office do.
I know. And look, I know that I'm going to get raked over the coals by this. I know it's very popular.
I just think you have to watch more than a few seconds. So again, Heart of Dixie. This is so stressful that you haven't watched it. Not that you haven't watched it, that you're just not even giving it the kudos it deserves. But Heart of Dixie is about Rachel Bilson, who, again, incredible actress who really can lead a rom-com. Like that's her niche. She's a good leading lady. She plays Dr. Zoe Hart. And yes, she is a heart surgeon living in New York. Very, very fancy. Yeah. She misses out on this huge job opportunity because her supervisor at work tells her that even though she's called Dr. Hart and a heart surgeon, she doesn't have a heart. She has no bedside manner. So he tells her to go and work as a GP for a year and then come back to the hospital and she'll have a chance. And then she can't find a GP job because obviously they're all filled for the year. And then she remembers that this strange old man in a suit has been coming to her graduation and her events and stuff for over her life and keeps offering her a job, writing to her a job and saying, I own a medical practice in a tiny little town called Bluebell in Alabama and I'd love to hire you. And she was like, okay. So she gets on a plane and then a bus and takes all her fancy clothes out to this tiny little town called Bluebell, only to discover, this is all the first episode, so a teaser.
This is why I hate it.
Only to discover that the man who gave her the job is actually her father, who she didn't know, and he's just died. And then she stays in the town to be the doctor, and it's this whole fish out of water thing because she's like a big city glamorous girl. And it's a little town where they still dress up.
It's like Sweet Home Alabama, but
completely on steroids
without Reese Witherspoon in it.
Rachel Bilson is so good in this, and also it's got these amazing side characters. I often say, obviously, Gilmore Girls is so much of a better show, but the town of Bluebell mirrors the town of Stars Hollow in a way of like,
I didn't even
I didn't
like Gilmore Girls
shut. No, we're not doing. No,
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, listen.
You might as well. You just trashed my family.
Okay,
do you know that? Did you watch all of Gilmore Girls?
No.
You watched 5 seconds of it?
No. I watched a season. Listen, I don't hate it, but that's not. I'm so sorry. You should see how upset Laura looks at me right now.
It's one of my favourite TV shows all time.
I know. I understand, Laura, and I'm really sorry. I really do apologize. The TV shows that I really love aren't really like dramas like that. Okay? I'm like Parks and Rec or Veep or Brooklyn Nine-Nine. So it's just not my type of show. I'm really sorry.
I can forgive everything else you've said today, just not the Gilmore Girls thing, because I do have a theory, and I think it's true that people who don't like Gilmore Girls also don't have a soul. So that's something to think about. So we'll just table this to talk about.
You're gonna fire me, aren't you?
I don't have that power. I wish I did.
Thank you so much for listening to The Spill today, guys, and I'm very sorry about my controversial opinions on Gilmore Girls. I have sent the office into a meltdown. But The Spill is produced by Manisha Iswaran with sound production by Scott Stronach. Mamma Mia Studios are styled with furniture from Fenton & Fenton. Visit fentonandfenton.com.au. And we'll be back here in your podcast feed at 3 p.m. on Monday. Bye.
Bye.